My name is Mitch Stephen, and I've purchased a house about every 4 to 5 days in San Antonio, Texas for over 2.5 decades. Yep, that's about 100 houses a year and over 2,000 houses in my career. And if you want to know a little bit about what I know, stay tuned, because in this episode we're going to be talking about remodeling homes and what upgrades increase the value of a home. So let's talk about improvements that improve the value of the house more than they cost. In this episode, we're going to talk about the most challenging, the easiest, and the most obvious, 2 areas you can't ignore, and the number 1 move that will almost always increase your home's value. There is no better way in the world to modernize a house than to open up the floor plan. Basically, because when you do that, you're really gutting the inside of a house, and this gives you the opportunity to use all new materials in addition to giving the house a more open and bigger feel. But don't forget, you're gonna mess up electrical, maybe plumbing. It can affect almost everything about a house. That's why the engineer is so important, because just taking out a wall is never that simple. It's going to affect electric, probably, most definitely, but it may even affect plumbing. So, other than the structural importance, there are other issues to consider. Always get an engineer. So let's talk about the easiest and the most obvious ways to improve the value of a home. That would be cosmetic things like paint. But wait a minute, you say paint, easy enough, right? Well, you wouldn't believe how many people can mess up a paint scheme. Some of the people that think they are the best at choosing colors are the worst, and you're not going to be the one to tell them. So, if you suspect that the person you're working with doesn't have that talent, or if you know that you don't have that talent, then let's do this. Drive your neighborhood, or drive some neighborhoods close to you, and start looking at color schemes that other people have used that jump out at you. There's no need to reinvent the wheel or have to trust yourself completely and put 3 colors that match perfectly. Just drive through the neighborhoods and find out someone else who has already paid an expensive designer to choose just the right colors, and then rip them off. Just go get the colors that they used. Now, you wouldn't want to use the same colors on a house that's right across the street or one that's to your right or to your left, because it would be too obvious. But even a few streets down, it's fair game. If you like their colors, use them. If it's a little too close for your comfort, invert the colors. Take what color of the shades and move it to the wall, and the color of the wall, move it to the shades. Whatever makes sense. But that's my little tip if you're not a professional color picker. 2 of the areas you just cannot ignore: the bathroom and the kitchen. You can't ignore the bathrooms or the kitchens, because that's where the lady makes her decision. If she likes bathrooms and kitchens, you're going to sell a house. If she doesn't like the bathrooms or the kitchens, you're not selling the house. So it makes perfect sense to concentrate on these areas when you're thinking about a remodel. Bathrooms and kitchens are always the most expensive to remodel per square foot. And it makes sense, right? There's a lot of components in a relatively small amount of space, especially in a bathroom. So think long and hard about what you want to do and make sure you get it right. Again, if you're not really a designer at heart, go to some new homes that are for sale, make some appointments, and go look at what other people's bathrooms and kitchens look like. Use those ideas, or get in modern magazines and start seeing what people are doing today. Chances are you'll find something that's just perfect for your home that you want to remodel. Both of these remodeling jobs, the kitchen and the bathroom, can get complicated fast when we start moving plumbing, especially if you want to move like a toilet or something that's already piped into the slab. Now, I used to shy away from this all the time because it was just overwhelmingly too complicated for me. But listen to me. Plumbers do this all day long. If you need to move a toilet a foot or 2 to the right or the left so that you can get that walk-in tile shower that you desperately need to become modernized, then go ahead and call the plumber. It's not that big a deal. They're experts at it. They do it every day. When I see what they have to do, it's arduous. It requires jackhammers and some tear out. But then again, it's not really that complicated. And within a few hours, you'll have your toilet or your sink plumbed to where you need to have it plumbed. Opening up these areas or getting the flow right in the bathrooms and the kitchens is critical. And it's part of what modernizes the feel and the look of the house. So don't be afraid to move some major plumbing. At least get an estimate and see what it's going to take. It's not that much more expensive to get it right. So before we talk about the number one remodeling move, let's pause for just a moment, take a little time, and if you think this information is helpful or interesting or engaging, please hit that like button, hit the share button, and if you haven't subscribed, let's do that right now too. By far, the number one move when you want to increase the value of your home is to add square footage to the air-conditioned, heated portion of the house. Now, that might include converting a back patio or a porch. Maybe you're going to convert a garage. Maybe you're going to convert a basement that's not being used for anything. And maybe you're going to go at it the hard way and you're just going to expand the footprint of an existing house. Either way, this is what you're shooting for. You want to pre-calculate that the cost of the expansion or the inclusion of the space into the heating and cooled area costs less than what it's going to improve the value of your house. So let's give you an example. The decision to add square footage to your property is pretty simple. What you'll want to do is you'll want to get like a current market analysis from a realtor for updated houses in your area. These are fully modernized houses in your neighborhood, and calculate what the average price per square foot is in your neighborhood for newly remodeled or modernized houses. Then you'll want to call your contractor, get a plan for what you want to do, and get a plan for your expansion, and then ask him how much it's going to cost per square foot to add X amount of square footage to your house. If the cost is less than the increase in the value, then it's time to start thinking about this expansion of heating and cooled space. Let's say the houses in your neighborhood are going for $200 a square foot. You call your contractor, you talk to him about enclosing a patio or a porch, or refinishing out the basement, or converting a garage. And he tells you that the whole conversion's only going to cost you $100 a square foot. This is a no-brainer. You're spending $100 a square foot to increase the value of the extra space by $200 a square foot. It's an easy yes in this case. And that's how you would want to calculate the pros and cons of expanding your space. Now, if you're living in a house, all these calculations go out the window. You want the extra space because you need it, because you want it, and because you're going to enjoy it for a long time to come. Math really doesn't matter when you're living in the house. Math matters when you're buying properties as an investment and you're trying to figure out how to increase or optimize your investment. That's when this math counts. There is one thing I want to caution you about. Do not improve your house or increase the size of your house such that you are the most expensive house in the least expensive neighborhood. This could set you back and ruin all your calculations. Let's face it, if you're in a medium neighborhood and you build a killer premium house, who wants to live in a premium house in a medium neighborhood? So keep this in mind when you're doing your improvements. Don't outrun your neighborhood. Outrunning your neighborhood could render all your calculations just wrong. I want to offer you the first 100 pages of my book, My Life in 1,000 Houses, Failing Forward to Financial Freedom. This is a digital download. All you have to do is go to 1000houses.com/free-stuff, and you'll get that digital download within seconds when you click on the little icon that reads, First 100 pages free. All right, this is Mitch Stephen. Follow me to the next episode.